Okay, here's a video tutorial on your loops exercise number 1. So we need to start with the base code, example 4.8, that draws two horizontal lines, and then draw two horizontal lines to connect the vertical lines to make something of a boardwalk. So I'm going to go into my examples, and here is 4.8. I'm going to show you where to get those real quick. File, examples, and we have these contributed examples here. Now, if you don't have the contributed examples, all you need to do is go in and add those, and they're this second one here, and then just install them. So now we're looking at the example 4.8. So bring that up here. Here is that code for that. Let's run that to see what we have starting with. Okay, so we have the steps. We need to bound them to make a boardwalk here. Okay, so let's look at the code a little bit to see where we are. We have our window size of 480 width by 120 height, stroke weight of 2. Now we have a for loop here. We're having I start off initialized at 20. As long as I is less than 400, we're going to jump up by 20 each time, and we're going to go into the brackets and execute the line of code here, which is to draw a line at XY, so that's I and 0, and then another X2, Y2. So a line is just the connection of 2 points. So let's look at the line number 1. So X value is at 20, Y value is at 0. So 20 over 0 down would be the starting point for that line. The second value is the ending point for that line. So I being 20 plus half of that is 30. And so then I'm going to go X is 30 now. It's a little bit farther over, and 80 down. So there will be the end point for that line. Next time we go through this line of code, though, I will be incremented by 20. So now we're at 40. So becomes 40. So my new X is 40 over, 0 down. And then the second set of points for my line 2 is going to be 40 plus half of that, which is 60. So then I'm going to go 60 and then 80 down, which will give me that point there. Okay, so now what I need to do is to draw a horizontal line on both sides of those. And I'm going to do that right inside that for loop. So right inside here, I'm going to draw another line here. Let's say line starting at I. X1, Y1 is going to be 0, and X2 is going to be a little bit over, I plus 20, and then 0 as well. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have our top line. It does stick out a little bit here, and I'll fix that a little bit later. And our bottom line is going to be just shifted over a little bit. So we have line I plus half of that, half I. That's my X. My Y will be 80. And then my X2 is going to be I plus I divided by 2. And then add 30 to shift that over. And then 80 is my Y2. So now if I run that, I have a bottom line as well. I want to make this box a little bit bigger to see where that bottom line ends. So width, I'm going to make that just a little bit larger to see where that goes. Okay, that one as well ends a little bit past that. So I need to put in some parameters here. What I'm going to do is an if statement. So I'm going to say like if I is less than 370, and that should bound that in. Then I'm going to draw those lines there. So let's say as long as I is less than 370, do the following lines of code. So we will build the steps, and here are the boundaries. So that should house that in pretty good. Okay, so there's a loop 1 exercise, and there's your code for that. I'll also provide this in our resource file.